Hello everybody, this is your student Facebook meteorologist Sean Bagden, and we're doing a live stream on the severe weather outbreak that's going to be happening in the northern plains today, particularly across northeastern South Dakota, eastern North Dakota, and the northern half of Minnesota. So this is your outlook area. The moderate is where the highest probabilities of high winds are going to be. High winds are going to be the predominant threat today, especially in this pink hatched area where wind gusts over 100 miles per hour will be possible with these storms. Also, a marginal 5% tornado risk and a significant hail risk across central North Dakota. So we're going to jump right into it by looking at our current satellite. As you can see with the satellite, we have this early morning convection down here near Sioux Falls, South Dakota. This convection is going to quickly move on off to the east and de-escalate pretty quickly. This is associated with warm air advection pushing off to the north here, but this elevated convection should get out of the way pretty quickly. Had some large hail with that earlier, upwards of 2 inches. But besides that, we have this huge area of clearing here with mostly sunny skies across North Dakota and South Dakota here. And right here you can see the beginnings of that jet streak that's going to be producing our severe weather this afternoon. Right up here in central Montana right now, as you can clearly see that what is that? East-northeasterly flow coming in here pretty quick. But as you look down here at the surface clouds here in South Dakota, you can clearly see that they're moving from south to north. So you got about 90 degrees of total wind shear here, and it's pretty significant because these low-level clouds are not moving that fast. Right here, these guys are absolutely cranking from west to east across South Dakota through the afternoon, and we're not going to have much in the way of capping, as we're going to be breaching the 90-degree mark across most of this area right here. Okay, so here is our current mesoscale analysis across the high plains. We can clearly see we have plenty of moisture in place here, with dew points pushing 70 degrees here in eastern South Dakota. These are going to advect off to the north into eastern North Dakota, as a line of thunderstorms will soon develop within the next 4 hours here along the Montana-North Dakota border. These are going to extend and accelerate off to the east here across North Dakota and northern South Dakota. And as they move into a more unstable and humid air mass, we can expect these storms to strengthen relatively rapidly and become extremely strong here across the moderate outlook area, which is right about in this area right here. We can show you what's going to be happening with that as we head over to our surface base cape. Right now we have this pretty strong plume of this nose of high cape values around 4,000 joules, kind of anchoring onto this boundary next to the North Dakota-Montana border here. And this is where we're going to be seeing that line of thunderstorms initially right here. Right along that nose. We always look for the nose for where the storms are going to be developing. And as we get into the afternoon hours, this nose continues to push off to the east, and in some cases in excess of 6,000 joules. That's why we're going to be seeing that extreme hail potential in these line segments that are going to be developing right along the North Dakota area here. Definitely some incredible looking shelf cloud pictures are going to be coming out of there this afternoon. And that 5% tornado threat will be realized this afternoon with weak tornadoes that spin up along the line segment just due to this slight easterly flow here as we get into the eastern North Dakota area and into Minnesota, as this deepening low pressure is going to slowly move off to the north and the east here. We'll see these easterlies, strong easterly flow at the surface, move off into that area, and with westerlies aloft, southwesterlies aloft, we'll be seeing a good amount of increased wind shear in that area, wherever this dry line bulge continues to develop here along this area of low pressure. Also, here's that area of increased wind shear right now. As you can see, it's developing right where those surface easterlies are, right along the dry line and developing area of low pressure. This is going to be the area we're going to see move off to the north and the east towards that 5% tornado risk area. And there you go. They're all going to, it's all going to be maxed right along that area just to the north and east of that area of low pressure. And as this line of thunderstorms moves into that area, we could get a little tail end Charlie or a bookend vortex developing on that. And also, kind of interesting, maybe seeing some more Saskatchewan and Manitoba tornadoes up here, as this supercell looks pretty interesting up on the North Dakota Canadian border there. Also, we're going to be seeing storm relative felicities spiking out to the northeast of that area of low pressure too. As that line gets closer, we'll see those locally increase just out in front of that. So here is our South Dakota Aberdeen sounding from 12Z this morning. And you can see this is one of those areas that is just off to the north and east of that area of developing low pressure. And you can see right there at the surface about 5 knots of easterly wind, and that's going to increase as this low deepens upwards to about 15 knots here. Nice loaded gun sounding with 64-degree temps at the surface. These will quickly warm up into the low 90s this afternoon. With increasing humidity, they're already in the mid to upper 60s there, and already a massive area of Fat Cape here, already in excess of 3,500 as of 12Z this morning. We'll be seeing those push up towards 5,500 this afternoon. And also, one limiting factor here is weak flow aloft, but if you look back towards where this Vort Max is pushing in over in eastern Montana, we can clearly see that higher winds aloft are going to be moving into that area, as well as steeper lapse rates. It's about 8.4 degrees Celsius per kilometer there, which is plenty enough for the gorilla hail they're expecting in central North Dakota. And these strong winds at 5 to 700 millibar level out of the west are going to really increase those shear values, especially with an easterly wind at the surface in the Aberdeen area once it interacts with that deepening low. So here is our current model runs for this event. This is actually, this is not current, we're gonna go to a current one. This is, 14Z. So we're gonna bring this up to about 8 p.m. tonight, and here is your well-defined line of thunderstorms here. This is going to be developing into an MCS here across northern North Dakota. May even get a few supercell thunderstorms developing on the northeast side of that low here. You can see those right here. That's going to be your highest tornado potential, but these should also quickly grow upscale as well here. Definitely wind threat is the biggest threat here, but southern South Dakota over to the Sioux Falls area and maybe just north of Aberdeen, South Dakota, could easily see a tornado or two in that area with a supercell thunderstorm. Up here, I think it's just going to be a weak little needle funnel within the line, so those are not going to be much to talk about. These tornadoes would be the ones to talk about if they don't grow upscale too quickly into a line structure there. Just got the 2Z one in, and yeah, then it grows upscale and we start to get into mostly linear features. This is concerning up here. Could be seeing winds upwards of 100 miles an hour in that bow echo right there. We'll be closely watching that northeastern corner of North Dakota. Also big hail producers down here as well. We'll go look at the observed dew points right here. And look at this. We got this huge plume of dew points just pushing up here. We're not going to have a problem having any low LCLs. We're going to have ground scraping shelf clouds, and certainly if we're going to have a tornado, it's going to be right along this plume here getting sucked up right in front of that lobe of low pressure that's going to be right around here. So we're going to have dew points. What is this? This looks like 77 dew points. Looking at a sounding here, I bet we're not getting that inverted V. Yeah, we've got less than 10 degree dew point spreads here, which is going to be good for tornadoes and beautiful structures. But again, we're really not seeing that flow down here that we are a little further to the north, which is going to be increasing our wind threat more so as dew points kind of trail off up here. Looking right in front of that bow echo. Oh, this is right in it. Oops. But yeah, we've got really strong upper level flow up there that's going to be creating stronger wind gusts. Again, as I said, upwards of 100 miles an hour in this area right here, where some of that drier air is, and you start getting those inverted V soundings up there. But these storms should not be very strong much past central Minnesota, as a dry air mass and decreasing wind shear will be factors there. But certainly maxed out factors for high winds and large hail here across and just north of Fargo, North Dakota. Looking at EHI, Energy Helicity Index, from 0 to 3 kilometer level, we certainly have no problems here. Lots of energy for storms to take advantage of, which, not surprised with that, as we've got CAPE values up near 6,000. Again, here's your first max right here, which is going to be helping to produce those high winds in the thunderstorms. We have a lot of dry air stuck here in the low levels. Evaporational cooling will allow for those strong wind gusts to reach the surface in the stronger bands of precipitation. And beautiful looped photographs here, with left splitting supercells being the dominant storm type here outside of the line segments. So if you were to get a storm, it would most likely be a large hailer. Those storm motions for right movers are going to be awfully slow for strong tornado potential. As we move down to the south here, into South Dakota, it's going to be a more marginal setup here for storms, but the ones that do blow up will be tornado producers. We just have a really strong cap here, but if anything does happen to go up, and this cap does end up breaking here near the Aberdeen area, I'd be very concerned about strong tornadoes being a possibility if supercells do fire up here, although that is a very low chance. But if they do, it would be not a good situation, as these photographs are cranked up here. We're looking at storm relative helicities up near 467 joules with marginal supercell, or marginal shear for supercell development. So that'll be something to watch. If a supercell goes up down there, it's going to go absolutely bonkers. But other than that, generally a bow echo and line of thunderstorms that's going to be cranking across eastern North Dakota here into western Minnesota. We'll be excited to see some shelf cloud pictures out of this storm, and it's going to be pretty fun day up there for any storm chasers. But other than that, have a great day. If anything, as things begin to develop this afternoon, we'll probably go live again. Have a good day, everybody.